you say people might just need a hug, you're 100% correct. And I know I joked, you can't walk around hugging random people, they will get upset. But you can walk around and ask people if they want a hug. Or just ask, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for helping South Africans, because I think you do that on a daily basis without asking. You give us the information that we need. Welcome back to another episode of Good Things with myself, Brent Lindeque, the Good Things guy. Today I've got Gugu Statu on the show. Hi Gugu, how are you?
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you here. So Gugu and I met, or can I just say Googs?
Sure, that's
Googs.
what everybody else calls me.
Googs and I met through social media, and I've always loved how social media has changed the 6 degrees of separation into maybe 1 or 2, because we really are connected when it comes to social media. Googs is a big voice on Twitter for South Africa. She's got a segment, I'm going to call it a segment, that she posts about almost every day called NOOZ, but not NEWS.
No.
It's NOOZ.
Yes.
NOOZ.
#NOOZ.
#NOOZ. Where you give commentary, social commentary on things that are happening in South Africa and the globe.
Yep.
And you make it funny and relevant and sometimes over the top, but always to the point. And sometimes those posts that you put out there will get retweeted. Is it retweeting? Reposting now?
Reposted now.
It's X.
Yes.
So
Re-X'd.
Re-X'd. You get them re-X'd and shared more than some of the actual journalists that are putting out publications. I want to talk to you about many things today.
All right.
But I guess the first is, how the hell are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm a talker, you know.
I know.
I love
I know.
talk type. Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good, and it is really great to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to
Thank
be
you for
here.
making your way to Flame Studios in Conhill. It's a really cool vibe. I love being
It
here.
is.
I
It
love
is. It's
being
actually
here.
lovely outside.
Thank you.
It's a nice little puzzle.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank
Come
you.
to Flame Studios, guys.
Thank you for making your way here. Googs, tell me this, right? So, how did you start this narrative on social media where you started sharing the news, and why did you do that?
Actually, funny story. This started during COVID lockdown, right? So when we'd have the infamous or famous or whatever family meetings.
I was about to say those family meetings.
It's the family meetings.
Which needed a breakdown.
It needed a breakdown, right? So I started doing it on WhatsApp status, right? We were all at home, we were all bored, you know, trying to make sour bread and what is sourdough
Banana
bread?
bread
Was
as well.
banana bread?
It was
Yes.
sourdough bread, banana bread, and I think some people were making their own beer.
I just made flatbread from, because that's just water and flour. I was lazy. Anyway, so every time there's a family meeting, I just post the points, right? I just, whatever he says, just make it a little bit. I didn't care much who's reading, who's not, because I'll talk into the atmosphere if I have to. That's how much I love talking. And then one day, I didn't see or didn't watch the family meeting. I can't remember what was happening because I wasn't leaving home or anything. I didn't post.
Maybe you got sick of it, because I know at some point as South Africans, we may have reached that stage where we
It's
didn't
like-
want to watch it anymore.
Yes.
We were like, I'm going to wait for someone else to summarize it, and then I'll hear whatever went on.
And that's what was happening. Somebody was waiting for me to summarize. And so after not posting, I got a whole bunch of WhatsApp messages the very next day. They were like, what happened? We waited and waited. You didn't post. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. What happened? But I was getting from Danny's, from grandpas, from opas, from young people. Everybody was just like, why didn't you post? You failed us. And I was like, oh, people listen to me. Wow. So then from there, I would break it down further and further. Eventually, I made it like a little bit funny, you know? And then it went from there. And then one day I was like, I wonder if the people on Twitter will like this.
Were you on Twitter already before?
I was on Twitter. Do you know what? I've actually been on Twitter since 2011. I was just quiet on Twitter. I was just like that person who's like, ooh.
They call those like a voyeur. So you're on
Yes,
Twitter
it's a
and you just
voyeur.
watch it.
Yes, I was like, oh, that person's bold. Why are they saying that? You know, I'd comment from time to time. And then I took NOOZ to Twitter and I was like, oh, people actually like it, you know? And then I thought, okay, well then I'm gonna do that. And it so happened that around same time, COVID time, we had the man in office, this man in the United States, and it was easy I didn't have to make it funny because he was funny. Even now, I don't have to write any of the jokes; they just write themselves, and that was that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I have to actually continue. I'm now enjoying it.
So I think that's where I may have originally connected with you.
Yes.
Is I started seeing your posts pop up, the news popping up
Yes.
whenever you were posting them, and underneath that or behind that, I realized that there's a really good person as well.
No.
And in between the news tweets and the things that are going viral, you're also just a kind, happy South African who shares really beautiful things. One of the things was the pictures that you were creating every morning.
The baby.
The
Bebe.
baby.
Her name is Bebe. Bebe means baby in Portuguese, one of the languages I speak. So I was like, oh, we're just going to call her Bebe.
Bebe.
And she encourages everybody to wake up, go to work, but like don't let people trample on you. And if they do, like bark at them or something weird so that they can get away from you.
And that's exactly the personality that I fell in love with. Is that motivation, but also I'm not going to let anybody walk all over me.
I must tell you though, that's when you saw me. I first ran into your posts when you first started Good Things Guy on Facebook. And I was hooked immediately. I was like, this is fantastic. Nobody's telling good news. Everybody, this was way before I even started news. It was just like, and I followed you. And so when we started connecting on X, I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So this is like a dream come true.
Stop it.
No,
No,
I'm not even joking.
No, for the
No, I'm not
2025
joking.
season, I knew that I wanted to take what Good Things is, this podcast that I've created. It was created 11 years ago. I wanted to take it back to what I loved doing 11 years ago. And that's speaking to good South Africans, speaking to the game changers, the change makers, the helpers, and the heroes. Yeah. And I honestly believe what you are doing, even if you're watching right now or listening and you're thinking, I've never heard of Googs before and I've never seen these posts that she puts out there, but you're really helping South Africa navigate what can feel like an incredibly chaotic time. Our news headlines are not nice. Yeah. There's a lot going on both locally and abroad that can make us question where we are in the world and what is happening around us. Yeah. And you round up conversations in a way that is digestible. You round them up in a way that doesn't make it feel heavy, and it allows us to consume that news, to get the information, and usually to leave with a bit of a smile or a laugh.
Hopefully.
Do you know what a duty that is to the average South African that is really looking at the world around them?
I think it's only when people started saying it that I realized what it was doing. Because for me, it was just like, okay, guys, it's funny. We can all see it's funny, but not really funny. Especially during like South African elections. Things were getting out of hand. We knew it was going to be a very difficult time for everybody, and it still is. And it was very important for me to at least bring a little bit of a funny side to it, and only after like different kinds of people. And for me, that's what makes the difference. You know, that it's not one type of person coming and saying this is great. When different South Africans were like, "Thank you for putting it this way," you know, after laughing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it.
You gotta keep doing it. It's so important. And I've seen it. So I've seen the way people respond to what you put out
You're
there.
very kind.
Yeah, no, I'm not being kind. I'm being truthful and factual. It's what I've seen. It's the reality. And often you'll it's quite funny to see like a seasoned journalist that'll be writing about a very similar thing that you are, and people will tag you, or they'll take your actual posts and they'll be like, no, here's the summary. This is the thing you want to know. This is the information you want to know.
I'm waiting for the day when the president calls me and asks me to please hand myself over to the cops, because I think summarizing his speech is like, that's not what I said.
I think if anything, if the president had his ear to the ground and he knew what was happening in the country with everybody and where we are, he might hire you to become head of comms. I mean, I would totally put you in part of the comms team just to help South Africans navigate what we're going through.
Oh man.
So I absolutely love it. Tell me, when you're not on X or Twitter, what else do you do? What is the day job?
So I work in television. Can't really expand much on that, but I do work on some of your favorite channels, and but I do try to do a whole bunch of other things as well, because one of the things I struggle with is when people say, like, that question, like, what are you? I refuse to put one word to it. I'm a this and that's it. I'm sorry, what? That's not what we built for, you know? So like we spoke about radio the other time, I'm not on radio.
No, so I'll be honest here,
Yeah.
because the viewers and the listeners will
Yeah.
have no idea what we're
Yeah.
referring to.
Yeah.
But Googs did have on her timeline that she was doing shows, right? So when we sat down, I was like, Googs, how's the radio thing going? And you were like, I did that 3 times. It was 3. It was just 3. So what is the vibe with radio? What happened there?
So from a very young age, because I love talking, I've always been like, okay, I want to be on radio at least once. Like, if I just go once and somebody give me a microphone, okay, and be like, okay, you're on air, say something, you know. That happened one day. I was on TikTok and somebody posted that they needed a volunteer, blah, blah, blah. And this, I didn't get a slot, like a volunteer slot on a community radio station in Soweto, right? Although I didn't get a slot, they did ask me to come that December to fill in for somebody, because I'd sent in my tape and whatever, and they liked it. So I filled in for this lady and I loved it. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do it. But I was also very happy that I ticked it off my list, right? It's my little bucket list of things I really want to do. And now, every now and then I sit and I'm like, I want to be on radio. I want to talk about something. But yeah, that's my radio thing. It's a good space, and I feel like you should be on radio.
Yeah, you know.
You are on radio. I've heard you on radio.
I am.
Yes, I have heard you on radio. I wanted to send you a message. I just heard you on radio. Yes.
So, yeah, every Monday I've got a little feature on 947 where I speak about good news, and on a Friday I'm with Mandy Wiener on 702 in Cape Talk. Just the last end of her show, she pulls me in, and I get to speak about good things.
That's what we need, right? There's just too much bad news.
But I'll tell you this, right? So your voice and your platform is mostly on social media, and it is incredibly important. Do you think social media is important?
Yeah.
You don't think it can be divisive?
It is divisive, but so is real life. Have you seen people at a parking lot in Sandton? Month end. The parking lot in Sandton is divisive. Should we stop having parking lots? No. We need them. Social media is divisive, but it's a place for conversations that we sometimes don't have. There's a whole loneliness pandemic going on in the entire globe, and social media is actually an avenue for a lot of people who have no one to say some things to. And there's also lots of spaces where you feel like you can't say a lot of these things, or maybe your office environment, maybe you don't have friends or people or colleagues that you can gel with. You can go on social media and talk to people. Of course, we've got some people that come out and be ugly. I often feel like those people need a hug, and I'm not even being sarcastic. Most of the times when people are being ugly, if you look deep down, something is happening, and it's making them feel like a victim, and now they're just lashing out, because why should they be the only victim? You know, and I'm not excusing racists and homophobes and all these other weird people. It's just like, okay, I'm not saying go out and hug people, strangers, don't do that. Okay, maybe
the police might come and arrest you.
Right.
You can't just walk around hugging people.
Yes, maybe. Don't do that, guys. But genuinely, some people I've spoken to on the DMs, they'll come and attack me on DMs and be like, and you're like, okay, I hear you. You feel this way, I feel this way, but I mean, that doesn't mean we should hate each other, because at the end of the day, we have one enemy, all of us. And usually comes right.
So one of the biggest lessons I learned in the last couple of years was a book that Oprah wrote. When I got to meet her, It's name dropped there.
Oh.
When I got to meet her, we got given the book. It was under our chair. Actually, it was literally under our chair.
Get a book. You get a book.
You get a book.
Everybody gets a book.
And the book was called What Happened to You. And it's all about this thought process of it's not what is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with someone. Someone's angry, someone's this, someone's that. It's not what is wrong with you. It's what happened to you to make you that way.
Yeah.
And when you say people might just need a hug, you're 100% correct. And I know I joked, you can't walk around hugging random people.
Yeah.
They will get upset. But you can walk around and ask people if they want a hug. Or just ask, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for helping South Africans, because I think you do that on a daily basis without asking. You give us the information that we need. If people want to follow you, what is the biggest social media platform that you would attest to? Like that you're on, what is the biggest one? Twitter?
X, yeah.
Yeah, because you
X
speak
for
about
me.
TikTok as well. You're on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok, but I don't say much on TikTok.
I
It's
think you
actually
should.
very- it's
I think you
actually
should.
fun.
I think you should
I've been
record
told.
your news segments and put them on TikTok.
I've actually been told so. Somebody got really upset. Why aren't you doing this on TikTok? I was like, I don't know why. I actually don't have a reason why I don't
Okay,
do
well,
that.
I've just planted the seed for you again.
Yes.
I'm the second person that's now telling you to do
Hold
that.
me accountable.
I think it will go down a treat because you are fantastic and the
you.
news you spread is fantastic. So if people want to follow you on X, I'm still going to call it Twitter. That's my vibe.
Yeah, it's
Where do they go?
just- What is my Twitter? Oh, it's at Gugu Statu.
Name and surname.
Yes,
Pretty
it's just
simple.
Yeah, Gugustatu. I've been on internet for a long time. You know, that's why when these like really much younger people, I'm like, oh, why are you still on the internet? I'm like, we built this for you.
We built this city.
Exactly.
It's been amazing having you on the show.
Oh,
And
thank
I wish you
you.
nothing but the best.
I
And I
wish.
cannot wait for when this comes out for you to write a summary in news of
I
this.
will.
Please do.
Summary, this was fantastic. Thank you.
That's the news. I want to thank you so much for joining us again on another incredible episode where we get to meet incredible South Africans and hear the story behind the news. Tune in next week where we have another incredible guest. I'm wishing you only good things. Okay, love you. Bye.